Taurus, hello. Amanda here. Welcome to the Unseen Hands Collective. This is going to be your December shift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. Taurus, as I was shuffling your cards, I kept hearing the nursery rhyme Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All of the horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And what's even freakier is as I was shuffling, I decided to take the card that showed up on the split as part of your shift. And the imagery is quite literal for this wall and this image of Humpty Dumpty. So without further interpretation, I think we're just going to get into it. So we're using the Fifth Spirit Tarot, this new deck by Charlie Claire Burgess. It's been a joy to get to know this deck with you over the December shift, so I'm really excited to share Charlie's work with you. Let's get into it. This month you are shifting out of the King of Pentacles and into the Six of Pentacles. And really what we're seeing here is a shift from an individualist pursuit of wealth, support, material resources, and taking that individual pursuit and opening it up to distributing the resources reciprocally in a community. And I think this is a really important energy that is coming through a lot of the readings, actually, because we're facing, at the time that I'm recording this, we're facing another wave of COVID here in the US. It is looking to be incredibly intense, and there's no government aid in sight at this point. And so it is up to individuals and individual states, individual communities, and individuals themselves to rethink our distribution of resources. And Taurus, this Pentacles theme is your energy. You are this sign that cares about resources and cares about allocation of resources for yourself, for others. You care about security, you care about support, foundation, a sense of stability. And I think that's particularly why this message is coming out for you, because perhaps you've got an important perspective and an important role to play in this process. So I think for this reading, it is very collective in its energy, and it's thinking about groups of people and community as a whole, but it's coming out for you. So I think there's a lot of energy here about your role in this. Here's what your shapeshift looks and feels like. And this is where I got pretty wigged, because we've got the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. This is the wall, and dang it if that ain't Humpty Dumpty, you know? Like, that's the egg. And I mean, come on, couldn't put Humpty together again. So there's something pretty strong coming through here for me about astrologically, we have Uranus in Taurus right now. It's been in Taurus for a long time. It's a slow-moving planet, but the period of Uranus in Taurus, if Uranus is a shakeup, a lightning strike, some unexpected shift and change, and Taurus is like the stability and stone structure of a wall, for example, then Uranus in Taurus is shaking up that structure. It's shaking up that stability because there's something about it that needs to come down. It needs to be rethought. It needs to be shaken up in order to get it to move, in order to get it to shift, which is very Taurus energy. Shaking the very ground we've come to find foundation in. And here's what's happening for me in this spread. There's a clear image of a wall that is separating. It's like this fine line between absolute like death, destruction, disaster, and the potential for something sustainable. The onion and this egg type orb seem very similar to me, and it's almost like, you know, the Five of Pentacles, we're seeing this loaf of bread in the snow. We're seeing a situation that perhaps is the wall that separates people from having the resources they need to survive and not having enough resources to survive. And that can be a very thin wall, or it can be a massive wealth gap, you know? And so that's how I'm seeing this reading for you. Again, very community and socially oriented here, but you have some sort of specific role in this, or this is somehow very potently resonant for you personally, Taurus. Here with the Ten of Swords, I actually really like seeing the Ten of Swords here because it represents the ending of a cycle. When I pull the Ten of Swords for myself, it's usually when something is ready to end. And that's what feels really good about it. It's a really intense card, obviously. We see this dead bird with a bunch of swords stuck in it, and its spirit is sort of ascending to be perhaps reborn somewhere else. But it's the rebirth that I think is really interesting. So yes, there's pain here. There's painful endings. Swords are mental energy. So there's like painful shifts in perspective that require a painful process of reframing something mentally, which is essentially reframing the distribution of resources in our society and like the structures that have been built on the haves and the have-nots, on keeping some people with an abundance of resources and making sure others don't have what they need, you know? And so what's wonderful here, Taurus, is when you come to the end of something, when you can go no further in a particular type of mentality or a particular type of energy, what's on the other side of this wall is the potential for a new start. The Ace of Pentacles is the potential for something sustainable. It's like, and here we're seeing the onion, which is a root vegetable. Again, your energy, Taurus. I feel you very strongly with this Ace of Pentacles because it's like you have something in your energy that can tap into a potential new start for us, or a potential new way of doing things, new way of growing resources, cultivating resources, you know, using the energy of the earth to actually feed people in a sustainable way, you know, and onions are deeply layered. It's a metaphor, you know, let's go Shrek on it. It's like you peel that onion and it's got layers and layers and layers, which is telling me that there's something to unwrap here that has a much deeper potential and a much more far-reaching potential. And the Ace leads right into the Six. It's got this far-reaching potential to redistribute resources in a way that is fair and provides for all. And it's like, this is the journey of that, Taurus. This King of Pentacles is you. So maybe I'm speaking to a Taurus that somehow has a way to help with this restructuring and this realization. Maybe you've got an idea, or you've even got resources to distribute. There's something potent about your energy, Taurus, that maybe holds a key to what's on the other side of this wall. You know, when the wall comes down, the wall that separates people from the resources that they need and separates people in society, like when that wall comes down, what's here? And this feels to me like the potential to feed all of us sustainably, you know, like the potential to feed people sustainably, and maybe, Taurus, this is for you, the potential to feed you sustainably. Anything else I'm trying to say here? I don't think so. I think this is a good place to stop. But I'll say this, Taurus, this is about basic needs being met. Getting yourself and others the basics that they need to survive. And that is a very intense message. here for December. Like that's the theme, which can feel a bit scary. Absolutely. But also there's so much potential to grow something very rooted, very sustainable, something new. A new way of doing this. A new way that requires a new way of thinking about it. Yeah, okay. All right, Taurus, we're going to take this into an extended reading now. I'm going to use other decks, pull some more cards, and see what we can get out of this message for December. If this is resonating with you and you'd like to view that, stick around. There'll be a little clip that gives you a preview of the extended. And if it's still resonating and you'd like to see it, go to unseenhandscollective.com, where you can find your extended reading in the shop and also through our monthly memberships. You can also find your shift scope for December and your shift guidebook. So there's lots of tools there for you to move through this energy. Thanks for being here, Taurus. Talk to you soon. Just go do something tangible, physical, that feels like you're planting seeds for new beginnings. Okay. I just split the deck like this and went right on to support. This is what this reading is all about. It's all about support. Part of this, now we're speaking on the personal level. I think on the collective level too, actually, but it's like, the clarification that we got in this reading for this blockage, this wall, was heartbreak. It was emotional trauma and pain. And now we're seeing that in this support card. There's a real need for community support, for emotional support, and to acknowledge that part of the blockage is a need to move through an emotional energy that requires external support. It's like this energy of we can't do it on our own, nor should we. And I think that's a big part of this perspective shift in December is we can't do it alone, nor should we. Seek the emotional support you need. Seek the physical, the ways that you can physically and materially find support. This is about coming together and finding support systems, emotionally, materially, physically, personally, and socially. Okay.